everyone, welcome to another video. This time it's gonna be a Ret PvP guide. Just doing it to really update my outdated one that I've done long ago. Alright, the first thing I'm gonna talk about and cover is the talents and what spec will best suit your gameplay. This is the current spec that I use. I go 2v2 into Acts of Sacrifice and absolutely ignore Guardian's Favor, mainly because I find that my spells get dispelled and spell stolen too often, and I don't really care about speccing into increasing their duration because they don't last their full duration anyway, and they're already gone. The next spec I want to talk about is going to be the one to crank up your heals and to pretty much guarantee a massive heal at any friendly target below 35% health. This would mean that you have to give up your improved Hodge, but at the same time you make up for it in absolute massive healing. What I see a lot of pallies don't do though is when they spec into haste, the 3 points into haste from the Holy Tree, they don't pick up Sanctity of Battle, which I find pointless because you're using so many points into increasing your haste. Why don't you make the most use out of it, you know? This spec is also very good for RBGs. It just put the one extra point that's lying around into Divine Storm and you have a very strong anti-flag capping spec. Yes. Okay. From here we will move on to my old spec. It's a pretty strong spec too, but it's improved Hammer of Justice, and just 1 point into your increased healing spells. But yeah, it's a pretty strong spec. I used to rock this, and then with a 1 point that's extra, you could either throw it into Acts of Sacrifice or Guardian's Favor. Is it Guardian's Favor? Yeah, Guardian's Favor. And that's, like I said, it depends on your playstyle, and it depends on what you find you're meeting a lot, or what your weakness is, if you want shorter cooldowns or if you want your spells to last longer. Alright, and finally, this is a pretty common spec right now for a lot of Rets that I've seen. They go 3v3 into Divinity and ignore the Word of Glory, the Eternal Glory. While arguably this is a pretty strong spec, the only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't give you the flexibility of being able to spam as many heals as you want to keep your teammates up and still do big damage. That's the main reason why I don't like this spec. I like having it that I can freely cast Word of Glory on my teammates. You know, whenever I have 3 Holy Power, I just keep them up, and I could still Templar's Verdict because most of my Word of Glories are free. Alright, I'm going to talk about stats now. Strength is by far the most important stat for a Ret Paladin. Actually, there's also this neat little trick with your unused strength trinket. If you know you're going to be in trouble, if you activate it to get the extra strength, your Sacred Shield will actually absorb more damage because the amount of damage it absorbs scales with your attack power. So, just in case you didn't know that, you could use your trinket both offensively and defensively. Neat trick, huh? Sometimes I may switch out a trinket to use Hurricane, or that's mostly in 2s though that I would ever do that. Or I would use Broken Images if we've been queuing against Spell Cleave 10 games in a row. But usually I would just use all PvP gear. Alright, also I reforge everything into Mastery. All my crit, as you can see, my crit is so low, and I just stacked Mastery as opposed to crit. Alright, this would help you do more sustained damage, basically. Alright, and the next important stat to go for would be Expertise. Get it capped to 20 for PvP. This is just because your main way of getting Holy Power is Crusader Strike, and if you're having that ability spammed, or parried and dodged a lot, your generation would really fall behind, and then you would be unable to sufficiently heal or do damage, which is never a good thing. Alright, and from here we're gonna go cover the glyphs. My 3 glyphs is Glyph of Word of Glory, Glyph of Templar's Verdict, and Glyph of Seal of Truth. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Word of Glory, increase heals, increase damage, and then my expertise cap. So I still reforge as much as I can into mastery and have the 10 expertise just from the glyph. That's basically why I'm using that glyph. Alright, the other glyphs is the Glyph of Crusader Strike, Turn Evil, and Hammer of Justice. The one I would switch out for something else would be the Crusader Strike one, just if you see yourself in the position where you cleanse a lot and you're running out of mana real quick because of your massive cleansing habits. That would be the time you would pick up Glyph of Cleansing. I personally went for Glyph of Crusader Strike because my healer gets me out of a lot of things, really, and I don't need to cleanse as often as I would with another team probably. And also I like to have the ability to be able to DPS even though my mana is pretty low. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is also one of the ways that I'm able to differentiate whether a pally is good or bad, is basically if they have Parent Weapon Chain or Landslide on their weapon. I know it sounds stupid, but that's how I can tell, basically. Alright, the only time a red pally would ever have Landslide on your weapon is if you have 2 weapons and you can switch in combat to the weapon, to whichever one you have, right? Because by far the most important enchant for a ret right now is Parent Weapon Chain. You do not want to be in the position where you're popping wings, you're about to kill someone, and then you get disarmed full duration. No, that's absolutely stupid. Alright, the next thing I'm going to cover will be my macros. I still use pretty much the same macros that I talked about in the last video. Some different though. For example, I don't use that Judgment macro anymore because Paladins only have 1 judge. But yeah, I still use the same support macros for my teammates. Basically, I macroed all my support spells. Blessing of Freedom, Sacrifice, Bop, all that stuff. I have it all macroed in to target each one of my teammates, and then I keybinded it. You really want to do that because you have to keep in mind that Ret Pallies are not a pure DPS class. We are a support class. We do damage when we have cooldowns, and the rest of the time we're basically helping our teammates, and that's how it is. So you're gonna want to have all your spells, Word of Glory, Sacrifice, Freedom, everything really macroed in and binded. I'm gonna have the macros in the underbar, and you could just pick out whichever ones suit you. Just switch out the name for your teammates' names and the spells that you need, basically. Alright, from here, I'm going to talk about my Stun and Repentance macro. Both of them only, they look exactly like that. So basically, what it does is, if I have a focus target and I press it, it'll stun or repentance my focus. And if I don't, it will stun or repentance my current target. This is just my personal playstyle. For you, the Modifier macro might work better. I'll also have that in the underbar thing below under the video. And basically what that does is, if you press on it, it'll stun your current target, and if you hold a modifier, which you can change it to Shift or Control, Alt, anything you're used to, if you hold that and press the button, then it will CC your focus target. So yeah, that's how it works. I personally don't use that anymore, but whatever suits you, you know? Everyone has their own playstyle. There's not one correct way to play the game. There's many different ways you can play this game, basically. Okay, the next macro I want to talk about is my Turn Evil macro. This macro is so sexy. Basically what you do is you just press it and it just fears anything. Anything that can be feared, it will fear it. Bubble macro, it's very simple. Cast Bubble, if you press it once, and if you press it again, you cancel Bubble. That's also because, like I said before, my playstyle is very offensive. I use Bubble as a trinket a lot of times just to go in to get the kill. But keep in mind that if you do play like this, or if you want to try playing like this, it's very risky, and you only use bubble as a trinket when you're sure that you're getting the kill. Because if you don't get the kill, they're gonna switch to you and you're gonna die. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about the Ret one-shot macro, which is basically a macro as long as shit saying pop everything, pop Inquisition, Zealotry, Wings, Guardian, Ancient Kings, Trinket, everything, just unload. Yeah, no, it doesn't happen like that. Not in a realistic situation. The way you want to do it really is you want to pull out your Guardian of Ancient Kings first, because I think a lot of people don't even realize that every time that angel dude hits something, it gives you a strength buff. So what you want to do is you want to let that strength buff stack high, and then you pop Wings, because that's when you'll be really doing damage. So with that little window of opportunity that you have Wings up, you know, before it's spell stolen or dispelled, you could do massive damage. Whereas if you just pop everything at the same time, by the time you have enough strength stacks from that pet, your Wings are gone, or they're spell stolen, or just something. You will never have Wings last full duration. Alright, and as for add-ons, I've been asked a lot about this add-on. It's basically the one that the CCs that my teammates or I throw on people. You see this massive thing on their head with a timer. That's called plate buffs. The next macro, the next add-on I've been asked a lot about is still power auras. So my holy power, that nuclear warhead sign under my feet, under my character's feet. And then quartz is the basically number timers on spell cooldowns on your spell bars. And finally, gladiator loss. That is, like, I would say that is the new spell alerter, where you have this chick tell you what's happened. Well, that's it for the update. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing my knowledge, and if you liked the video, please remember to press thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I'll definitely bring some more videos out soon, and I will leave you guys with some funny and stupid 2v2 that I've had with a mate of mine.
Block!
Well, thanks
Why?
again.
The lock me, he's gonna kill, he's fucking frothy, mate.
The DK's frost, man!
Blinding. Oh! Okay.
Don't fucking switch to the... Don't switch to the DK now.
No, I'm not. Oh my god. Swing, swing. Oh, get fucked! Kind of stand for him, and then you're gonna leave. You live! Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm fearing him. Stunning him. Yeah, just kill him,
Yeah, dude, watch this. Dude, I'll sap lock. Fuck, where? Oh, never mind.
No, sap.
Trying to sap motherfucker.
I didn't come over before. I'm not. I'm gonna stun Shammy.
Yeah, I got.
You're triggering it. Repentance.
Yeah.
Do you have blind?
Dude, yeah.
Blind. Oh yes. You blinded NS, motherfucker. Yes. Ooh, just kill this guy now. There we go. More feral.
This is fucking smoke this druid, man. Fucking roll him up and smoke the motherfucker. That'll be cute.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna get him off you right now. And he's gonna come in for a spear. I'm gonna. Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna blind freeze.
Okay.
I'm gonna stun.
I'll follow with.
Yeah, I'm gonna stun him with the set. Oh fuck, I'm dancing right here. What? My stun is.
He trinketed. Repentance.
I got sap out of it.
It's okay, Zed.